Hey folks, been a while. Welcome back to Noman Reviews. So, I had the opportunity to get this from Sideshow.com and probably got it because of FOMO. There have been some complaints that this Obi Wan Kenobi Mandalorian armor toy by Hot Toys is a bit of a cheap kitbash, and not a particularly elegant or dignified move by Hot Toys. So, we're going to find out for ourselves. We're going to take this to the light box for a deeper examination, we'll also do some fun poses, and finally, we'll settle on a final score. Before we do, may I request that you hit those like and subscribe buttons to support my young channel. Here we have the front of the box familiar Star Wars gray and black design by Hot Toys. Up top you've got the Sideshow exclusive logo. Right in the center you've got Obi-Wan in his Mandalorian garb. And down below you have a band that's going around the box. On the side of this blue and gold color band you have a portrait of Obi-Wan holding two pistols. Nothing particularly special about the side of the box. You still got that gray and black color scheme, and you still got that blue and yellow band. Here's the back of the box. Unfortunately, mine has come in a bit damaged from Sideshow. I don't know why. You've also got some warnings and legalese. So now it's time to open TMS 126 Obi Wan Kenobi. It's a shoebox designed by Hot Toys, so we're going to start by lifting this cover. There you go, that's the new Obi Wan sculpt. He is wearing the Mandalorian armor. Down below you've got another Mandalorian who's holding a lightsaber, so that's a bit confusing. Here you have some branding. And apparently Hot Toys stole this art from a Instagram influencer. I am not 100% sure what the story is, but there has been an accusation that they just simply stole the art from a fan. So we're going to have a quick look at the manual and then the accessories and then the figure itself. But let's get a sneak peek at the figure and this new head sculpt. Oh man, that is a very attractive looking Mandalorian helmet. Of course, the main attraction for this figure is that new head sculpt, so let's check that out. Wow, this head sculpt is much improved over the Revenge of the Sith version. The likeness is fantastic. I love the paint applications. They're very rich. There's complexity in the skin tone. And the hair is a nice golden color. The beard is also painted much more nicely. I can't wait to compare this to the Revenge of the Sith version of Obi-Wan. But I have a feeling this one is going to be the clear winner. It's just a pity that the peg system is a bit different. As I always say, good idea to check out your manual before you play with your expensive figure, so that you know how to articulate it correctly and you know how to use the accessories correctly, and of course, you don't break anything. So the first page tells you how to manipulate the eyes and change the sculpts. Interestingly, they have gone with that new proprietary neck system, so I do not think this is going to be compatible with the Revenge of the Sith version of this toy, which is disappointing, but I guess inevitable. They do want you to buy new figures, don't they? Tells you how to equip the jetpack appreciably. This is magnetic. Equip the LED lightsaber. Get the LED lightsaber function going. Assemble the lightsaber. Bolster the blaster. Attach the LED system. Get the stand going. And the rest of it is warnings and legalese in different languages. Let's move on to the accessories. Here are all the accessories that you get with Obi-Wan, including this newly developed head sculpt that looks absolutely gorgeous and a big upgrade over the Revenge of the Sith one. Got this base set which includes the plate. Got a couple of lightsabers, one's in motion, one is regular. Got this tool to manipulate the eyes. Got this magnetic jetpack. Extra wrist pegs, thank you Hot Toys. This device to light up the USB lightsaber. Got this clip so you can attach this to the stand. Got this little screw attaches to the belt so you can hang the lightsaber off Obi-Wan when you want to. And this tray of accessories. There are 4 hands in there. And these don't include the two that are already on the body, a couple of lightsaber hilts, one of those lights up, two pistols. I think the hands are very nicely painted, and I think the quality of the material is very good. They're nice and soft. You can hold the weapons quite easily. I like the details on them. For example, you can see the creases on them, and even though it's like rubbery plastic, it does look like a leather glove, and that's just a testament to the paint application. The set comes with a couple of lightsaber handles. Of course, these are Obi Wan lightsaber handles. You've seen these before if you've bought a Hot Toys Obi Wan figure before. Very professionally painted, and of course the mold is quite accurate to how it looks on TV, on screen. This is the wired one. This of course lights up, and even though I wish the brightness was a bit higher on this and the wiring was a bit better in terms of connectivity, I still like these. I think it's a better option than the old system where you had to take out one arm and attach the arm that could light up, because you would often break the peg in the shoulders. In fact, if you look at the forums, even today, people are complaining about trying to remove an arm on a old Star Wars Hot Toys figure and breaking the shoulder peg. If you've purchased a Mandalorian Hot Toys figure before, you might have seen these pistols. For example, if you bought Bo-Katan, she has very similar pistols, but these are painted differently to match this toy's aesthetic. Overall, I think the paint applications are excellent. I do really like the battle damage on them. I like the wash that they've given them, the bit of dry brushing just to bring out those details and add some wear and tear, make them look like they've seen a few battles. Again, if you've purchased a Mandalorian Hot Toys figure before, you may have seen a jetpack like this. Of course, it's been painted a bit differently just to match this toy's aesthetic. I do like the paint applications, though I do wish they'd given this some dry brushing just to give it some wear. In addition, I wish that we had those flame effect accessories for the base. This is pretty bare bones. I do like the fact that it's magnetic, because on some figures it attaches via Velcro, but on others it attaches via magnet. These lightsaber blades should be familiar to anyone who's bought a Hot Toys Jedi figure in the last 5 to 10 years. You've got the lightsaber blade in motion, you've got the regular one. So I like that there's a gradient over here, there's a darker shade over here, lighter shade over here, just to make it look like it's in motion. The only thing you have to watch out for is scratches. Sometimes these come a bit scratched. Fortunately, mine looks pretty much scratch free. The base is also standard issue for a lot of Hot Toys figures. Nice solid plastic, feels good and nice and smooth. Attach this crotch grabber right over here, and it's extendable, of course. And nowadays these plates are coming detached, so you attach them yourself. I do not know why they're coming detached. They used to be attached before, but attaching them is not too difficult. In fact, it's pretty easy. And right over here it says Star Wars Obi Wan Kenobi. You've seen this tool before if you've bought a Hot Toys figure where you can manipulate the eyes. These are the two levers that you have to push around with that tool to move the eyes around. Time to look at the sculpt, and I think this is a fantastic head sculpt. Much improved over the Revenge of the Sith version, and we're going to do a comparison in a second, but I feel like the mold, for starters, is much better. It looks a lot more like Ian McGregor. The face is a bit longer, a bit wider. The cheekbones are just a bit more prominent. The paint applications, very good, very realistic. Little subtle details on the skin as well, but the skin tone is fantastic. The beard, such rich coloring on the beard, and the hair looks gorgeous. Beautiful paint applications. The side profile is incredible. This is a really good looking sculpt. Comparing this to the Revenge of the Sith version, I think this sculpt is the clear winner, and why shouldn't it be? It is a much newer sculpt. This sculpt was a bit controversial when it came out. Even though it looked good, it was not as good as a prototype. But yes, the eyes, the skin tone, the paint applications on the skin, the paint applications on the hair, side profile, everything about this sculpt, to me, is superior over this one. Which sculpt do you guys think is better? Please do let me know in the comments. Here we have Obi Wan Kenobi's Mandalorian armor straight out of the box in a museum pose, and even though this armor is a repaint of other armors that Hot Toys has released from Mandalorian toys, I think it looks pretty good. I really do like this gray and red color scheme, and it's very highly detailed. And you have some very nice distress effects on the helmet, on the chest plate, on the arm guard, on the shin guard, on the knee guard, even the boots. they've really done nicely. The soft goods, including the dark gray colored long sleeve shirt and the gray colored pants, all match the aesthetic very nicely, and in addition, they are very high quality. When you feel them, they do feel like a premium product. Side profile also quite good. Again, that bit of wear on the arm guards, on the boots, even on the helmet, all looks very nice. Looks okay from the back, but maybe a little plain. They could have done some more wear on the back plate and maybe something on the belt or the pants. Just looks a bit too plain. So yes, this toy looks good from every angle. There's only one problem though. There have been accusations that this is just a cheap kitbash by Hot Toys. And I have to say that's correct, because this does not look like Obi-Wan's body. It just looks like a typical grunt, a typical Mandalorian. It does not look like Obi-Wan at all. They have not made any effort to make this body look like Obi-Wan's body. Now we have the Obi Wan sculpt on, and it just looks like chunky One Kenobi. My boy has spent too much time at McDonald's or Burger King. Those thighs are way too thick for Obi-Wan. The chest and even the stomach is a bit bloated. The biceps look a bit too big. And I have to say, I agree with the critics. This does seem like a lazy kitbash from Hot Toys. Just to show you what he should look like, we have Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan on the right, and that body is much slimmer. I do not know what Hot Toys was thinking. They were probably just seeing money. Easy way to boost your revenue, do a cheap kitbash, but this is not a cheap product. These are not Marvel Legends. Hot Toys should know better. Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan looks furious that he has let himself go so much. Time to look at the articulation, and I would like to look at the articulation of both heads. So let's start with the helmet. Head tilts left, tilts right, turns quite freely, looks up very nicely, looks down very nicely, so you can shrug forward and back. So let's swap the head. Just simply take off the head, take off this cover to expose the neck. When you are attaching the Obi-Wan head sculpt to the body, just make sure that this aligns with the hole over here. Otherwise, you are going to hit the eye levers and you're going to move the eyes out of place. And if you push too hard, I think you're going to break the eyes. So please be very careful. I do understand why they implemented this system. They want you to be able to manipulate the eyes without having to take off the back of the head. And this system allows you to do that, but it is also very annoying. Obi-Wan's head tilts left, tilts right, looks up very nicely, looks down, but not too well. Shoulder goes up, but I wish it went up a bit higher. Does not move forward too much, nor does it move back too much. Shrugs and twists a little bit, but big thick fat suit in there preventing articulation. Nice double jointed elbow though. Cut at the bicep allows for some swivel. Wrist moves freely. Waist tilts left, tilts right, moves forward a bit. Not that great, the ab crunch to be honest. Twists left and right, it's okay. Leg stretch, doesn't kick forward too well. Doesn't kick back too well, just a big thick fat suit in there. Obi-Wan's been eating a lot of peanut M&Ms. Nice double jointed knee though. Boot tilts left, tilts right. So overall the articulation on this is poor. Thumbs down. Now that we've seen the articulation and the accessories, it's time to take Obi-Wan to the toy room for some fun poses. Let's have a look at the Mandalorian armor under the portrait lens. I love the design of the helmet, and I think the gray and red color scheme looks really good. It all comes together thanks to the fantastic paint applications by Hot Toys. I also love the distress effects on the helmet and the rest of the armor. The only problem is, this body does not look like Obi-Wan's body, it's just too thick. Another look with the portrait lens, but this time with the Obi-Wan sculpt on the body. The sculpt was definitely the jewel of this set. Beautiful paint applications. The likeness, especially from the side, is fantastic. Looks pretty good straight on too. Hair looks really good. Skin tone looks really good. And the attention to detail is lovely. In addition, the eyes, beautifully done by Hot Toys. It does look good on the body, but again, I think the body is just way too thick for Obi Wan Kenobi, especially in his prime. One final look through the portrait lens, but this time with the light up lightsaber. And lit up, that saber looks really nice. But I do wish it was a bit brighter. I mean, Hot Toys went through all this trouble to implement the USB system, and I think they could have done a better job. Time for some size comparisons, and here we have Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan on the right, and everything looks wrong about Obi-Wan on the left, except for that upgraded head sculpt, which does look much better than the Revenge of the Sith one, but that body is just wrong. It's way too stocky. It looks like he's about to play a game of rugby and then have some beer after that match. He does not look like Obi-Wan at all. Now on the right, we have Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones. This is young Anakin Skywalker. I think these two display nicely together overall, if you can ignore Obi-Wan's stockiness. Next up, we have Hot Toys Padme from Attack of the Clones, and I think the height difference checks out. Now we have Dark Side Anakin Skywalker, one of the best Hot Toys ever made in my opinion. These two display pretty well together, and the height difference seems okay. Hayden Christensen did shoot up a few inches for the last film in the second trilogy. Finally, we have Hot Toys Bo-Katan. I think these two display very nicely together. My final score for Hot Toys Obi Wan Kenobi Mandalorian armor is going to be 2 out of 5 stars. Unfortunately, this is little more than a cash grab by Hot Toys. A glorified kit bash, if you will. The new sculpt is quite nice, but it's just a reissue of the Clone Wars armor version of this toy recently released. This set is riddled with problems. The body is a reuse and does not have the right proportions for Obi-Wan. The articulation is poor, the figure is missing key accessories like more hands and flame effects with a jetpack, and the guns, they don't sit snugly in the holsters and keep falling out. I would not recommend this figure to anyone, to be honest. You need some extra parts to reuse this sculpt on the Revenge of the Sith body. At the very least, Hot Toys could have provided an adapter. It's because of thoughtless kit bashes like this that Hot Toys is losing its reputation amongst collectors. Well, that's my review, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please check out my reviews of Hot Toys Mace Windu, Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker, Hot Toys Dark Side Anakin, and Hot Toys Padme. Until next time.